Disclaimer: the following podcast contains major spoilers for episodes 12, 13, 14, and 15 of Power Rangers Dino Fury, which is yet to be released in the United States. Viewer discretion is advised when watching this video. Thank you.
Tokusatsu, taking the form of many shows including Super Sentai, Kamen Rider, and Metal Heroes. And today, a group of fans come together to review it for you as Toku Secrets.
Hey guys, and welcome to episode 57 of the Toku Secrets podcast presented by unaired.org. I'm your host, Nathan Desa, and today we're taking another detour from our soon-to-be-completed journey through Kamen Rider Decade and our journey of a samurai with Shinkenger to take a look at what's new in the Power Rangers universe. Today we are going to be reviewing episodes 12, 13, 14, and 15 of the Power Rangers Dino Fury, the beginning of the second half of the second season. As we just said in the disclaimer there, this does contain spoilers. The episodes have been released in Canada now on their Teletoon network. That's how we're watching it. Of course, when I say we, I mean we got the whole crew on here, so go ahead and say hey, guys.
Hey guys, it's Rizwan, your favorite Toku Secrets reporter.
And this is Anthony, your other favorite Tokusatsu reporter.
Yeah.
Nice. We're all the favorites. Except Patrick, because he's not here.
So,
well.
Now the proper season, second half of season 2 is supposed to drop a little bit later this month. It's September 12th as we're doing this recording, by the way. But thankfully, we've gotten to see some of the episodes earlier. So, and the batch of episodes that we have here, which is kind of a 4-part episode, sort of, was just so awesome that we decided that we want to review it now.
Yeah, we're really excited for these episodes. Like, without saying anything yet, I haven't been this excited about Power Rangers since I was a kid. Since Countdown to Destruction. Like, that's the level of hype I have right now. It's Countdown to Destruction the first time when I was like 8 or 9 years old. So, yeah.
Now, before we get started, we should give a brief recap on what happened in the first half of season 2 that we went over. So, pretty much the major things that have happened, as we know, Void Knight's wife, Santura, was revived, and she absorbed Sporix energy to get turned into her own monster form called Void Queen, whose suit is Madame Noir from Tokyuger. Void Knight, whose real name is Tarek, initially turned away from the villains because he just wanted to revive his wife, and she became while she's more of like a straightforward, I want to take over the world type of villain. And but then he got kidnapped by the villains and turned into his own monster form called Void King, which is pretty much the form that he has in all the episodes we're reviewing here. And the only other major thing is that Zato, the red Dino Fury Ranger, got this form called the Dino. It's called the Dino Night Key, if I'm remembering correctly, which gives him the ability to access a new power-up form, which is kind of a battleizer, although I don't know if I want to call it a battleizer since battleizers are American exclusive, and this one, at least according to Anthony, was in Ryu Soldier. So, Dino Night Armor. And that's basically where we left off. So we're going to give a basic rundown of these 4 episodes. I'll just go over the plot briefly, and then we'll do some discussion about it. So first we have episode 12, The Ultimate Mystery. Now, this episode does have does have a brief subplot with Amelia kind of putting her two co-workers Stan and Annie into danger. But the big thing that happens is that the Rangers battle against a monster that has escaped from Grid Battle Force, aka the organization that the Beast Morphers Rangers work for. We get a guest appearance from Commander Shaw, who contacts the Rangers, and we also get some brief cameo footage from the Grid Battle Force Rangers battling the monster. The monsters do what? Yeah.
In suit form.
Yeah, we don't see them unmorphed.
In suit form.
Now, an important thing to note, and this is one of the cool things, is that the monster of the day in this episode is called Lothorn, who claims that he is the son of Lokar the Terrible. For those of you who may not know, Lokar was a villain in the first season of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. He appeared. I don't know. So here's the thing: in the original Jew Ranger, Lokar is the main villain ultimately. Like he's the one who created Witch Bondora and all that. He was. Oh, okay, yeah. He appeared in 4 episodes of Mighty Morphin. He was in the 2-parter Island of Illusion, and then he appeared in the 2-part episode that was supposed to be the series finale, Doomsday. I don't really remember much, but he was still a pretty big bad if he was one of the big allies of Rita. So, yeah.
He was a really significant part of the plot at that point. Like, I think that was the final couple of episodes before they went to season 2.
The final batch of episodes that he appeared in, that was before. That was when they used up all the Jew Ranger footage, but then they still wanted to continue the show, so they switched over to that Jew 2 footage. Yeah, that was basically his final appearance.
Yeah.
Oh, and fun fact, he was actually voiced by Robert Axelrod.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
May he rest in peace.
So, the episode ends with him defeating Lothorn, during which he makes a reference to Angel Grove, which is funny. We find out that Lord Zed, who was previously revived by one of Void Knight's monsters in the previous season, is back. And that's basically how Ultimate Mystery ends. Then we get the episode Love Hate after that. In this episode, so the main plot is that Ollie wants to ask out Amelia, but Ollie is blue, Amelia is pink, by the way. He wants to ask her out because they've been kind of hinting at some attractions between the two. In a pretty good way, by the way. They have really great chemistry. But then, thanks to a misunderstanding, based on something that he hears from Izzy, he decides that he doesn't want to. And then Lord Zed comes up and he starts teaming up with the villains. He is also revived one of the main villains from Beast Morphers called Scrozzle. Was Scrozzle destroyed in Beast Morphers? Because I haven't seen that season all the way through yet.
No.
No, though in the Christmas episode of Beast Morphers, we assume
but I guess it wasn't revived,
he was destroyed,
just
but
brought
that
back.
didn't happen.
Yeah.
So,
my running theory is that he was in the Beast Morpher cell.
Now the
at
Love Hate
Good Battle Force is my theory.
Oh no! Actually, I remember what happened. He ended up going to the RPM dimension. What was his name? Scott's dad. Colonel Truman found him and brought him to Great Battle Force.
Oh, okay.
Now, Love Hate is pretty contained. Ollie gets put under the mind control of Lord Zed so that he can gain this information that allows them to locate Sporix. Because Lord Zed wants to create his own army using Sporix. The episode ends with Ollie getting knocked out, and then Amelia revives him by saying something to him because she finds out that he actually did like her. And the two almost kiss before Ion ruins the moment. Thanks a lot, Ion. I hate you. Actually, no.
Damn it,
Okay,
Ion.
but honestly,
He
no,
ruins
I
everything.
really don't want to say anything mean about Jordan Fite because he was a nice guy. So, Jordan,
No. He's
Yeah.
perfectly fine. I have no issue with the actor.
now the
It's
next
the
two
character I
episodes
don't
are
like.
where things get incredibly wild. Basically a two-parter. Now, the first part does have this kind of entertaining side plot where basically everyone at the Buzz Blast, there's two teams, one led by Jane, one led by Jayborg, and they're having a Nerf war. And I have to admit, as much as I'm not a huge fan of the whole Jane and Jayborg thing, the Nerf war thing actually kind of made me laugh, so I can tolerate that one.
It was actually pretty funny. I wasn't upset about it at all. The only reason I didn't like it, even the slightest bit, was because it detracted from going to RAFCON. And I really just want to see RAFCON at that point.
Exactly. Though I'm not gonna lie to you, the way they were having fun and all that made me wish that I could get a job working there instead of where I work at now. So
Right? Like, having a Nerf fight with your boss? That sounds awesome, dude.
With that being
Yeah.
said, now one thing I forgot to mention about how Love Hate ends is that the message that was sent from RAFCON, which is Ion and Zato's home planet, was decrypted for them, and they find out that RAFCON is still alive. So basically, the next two episodes, RAFCON Revealed and Morphin Master, is a two episode where the Rangers travel to RAFCON. They chase Lord Zed and a bunch of his goons, all of which are just a bunch of monsters of the day. Yeah, and Scrozzle. Lord Zed wants to use the same machine that was used to release the Sporix beast to generate more Sporix so that he can create an army of villains. The first part is basically all about Ion thinking that Ion kind of being reckless because apparently just before he was reawakened in his debut episode in the previous episode, the Morphin Master that reawakened him said that without him, the Rangers won't be able to defeat Lord Zed. So Ion assumes that that it's his destiny to defeat Lord Zed, and he takes an unnecessary risk and basically ruins the whole thing. And the Rangers are, forced to retreat. But then in the next episode, Morphin Master, we find out that the Green Morphin Master, there were 6 of them, red, basically one for each of the colors of the Dino Fury Rangers. The Green Morphin Master, we'll just call her Master Green from now on because that's what they call her. She shows up to help the Rangers. Just to offer them advice. But then it turns out that one of the other Morphin Masters, Master Blue, shows up, and the Morphin Masters are angry because apparently many years ago, the Morphin Masters made a vow to never intervene in the mortal affairs, and they want to stop, and they want to basically punish Master Green by imprisoning her in crystal. And then the Rangers intervene. Well, first, Master Green gives them this sword that can be used to help them stop Lord Zed, the Dino Master Saber. And we get a bunch of flashbacks that show the Morphin Master Green, how she on other occasions. And we're actually going to be doing a podcast on this later because we actually find out just how deep Master Green's involvement has been. Some of the flashbacks that they show in particular are how Jason was able to appear to help the Beast Morphin Rangers in the team-up episode. We're shown some other miracles, like how some Rangers are able to survive things like when Devin from Beast Morphers survived a meteor or something. I can't remember that part because I haven't seen Beast Morphers. And of course, yeah. The big one is that it
Yeah, it was a
explains
meteor.
how all the legendary Rangers showed up during the Legend War in Power Rangers Megaforce. Which, okay, yeah, we finally have an explanation on how all those Rangers got their powers back. So everybody can stop whining about that plot hole. The Rangers travel. The Rangers battle against Lord Zed. They use the. They defeat Lord Zed, but no, they don't defeat Lord Zed. They manage to break through his shield, but Lord Zed proves to be too powerful. Then Master Green shows up, and she battles Lord Zed and uses her power to encase both of them in this crystal. Master Red comes in, and after the Rangers pretty much advocate for her that, without her, the world would have been destroyed, they decide to free Master Green, but they keep Lord Zed encased in a crystal, and then the crystal is taken away. So I guess that's what Lord Zed's fate is going to be, although hopefully that's not how Lord Zed goes out, because I think he's a villain that deserves a little bit more dignity than that.
Yeah, it was pretty anticlimactic. I was like, wait, are you serious? Does that mean he's not going to be like a major part of like the rest of the story? Like he's just stuck like that? I'm just like, then you could have brought him back for more than that.
No, he'll be back. Stuff's gonna happen. I already know it's gonna like. This isn't the last time you're gonna see Zed. There's no way. Like, you don't bring back an iconic villain like him for 4 episodes without some greater plan for the overall storyline. I mean, look, we got Cosmic Fury coming up.
That's true, yeah.
There's gonna be something earth-shattering, like bigger than even these 4 episodes.
Wait, Nathan, did you mention
forgot,
the whole thing about what happened
Rapcom
with
was
Rapcom?
destroyed
That, no?
as they escaped the planet.
Yeah.
I was like, dang, you just basically Namek freaking Rapcon. I was like, wow.
Dude, I didn't expect that. I was
Me neither.
I was hoping that we'd have like visits to RAFCON to, do stuff like more adventures and all, but no, they just.
Oh, and on a side note, apparently Steel Silva, the Silver Beast Morpher Ranger, who apparently became human at the end of the series, he's apparently now the star of some reality show that Izzy is obsessed with. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. I mean,
yeah, I hate that. I'm sorry. I
don't
am
mind.
just not a fan of Steel being human. It just kind of irks me. I'm like, really, y'all? Like, you couldn't keep this being as a robot?
Well,
I'll have to go on my
little
rant about that in a little bit. So just bear with me.
I mean, that's pretty much the plot of the whole series. So, yeah, we just want to go over this. You guys want to give some more of your thoughts?
Anthony can start off.
Oh, did you want me to just start off on my main tangent, or just what I think about the episodes overall?
You can start on your mini tangent. Just go ahead and say that.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. I honestly feel that Beast Morphers was anti-robot. I'm not even joking with you guys. Like, they've made these little silly songs about how great it is to be human, and he just really wants to be human, all like for some strange apparent reason, and him being half human, and already it was just like, oh my god. Like, now don't get me wrong, I still like Steel. He is still my boy. He is still one of my favorite Rangers. Surprisingly, out of all Beast Morphers, he made it very entertaining to watch. But the moment you make him human, he doesn't really feel like special anymore. Like, you kind of just made him just like everybody else now. It's like, I just didn't like it. And whoever is watching this, please do not get me wrong. If you are perfectly fine with Steel being human, more power to you. I am not gonna stop you and say, hey, still being human is terrible. You should hate it too. Blah blah. I'm not gonna say that. I'm just saying how I feel about it. Don't get me wrong. Him being human, maybe fine for his character, for how he feels. Cool, more power to him. I just personally don't agree with it. Okay, main tangent over with. But overall, I like the episodes, most of it. Still, some of it, the dialogue was a little bit cheesy, and I guess some stuff should have been cut out, especially the whole thing with the Nerf gun fight. That we didn't need that at all. But I'm glad they had it a little bit because it did look fun. But other than that, it was enjoyable. And there was a lot of lore drop, so that's always good.
I honestly loved these 4 episodes. Like, I was excited to see everything. Like, Grid Battle Force cameo, that was pretty cool. Commander Saw. But Lord Zed coming back, that was the biggest part for me because he was done right. Like, I know I mentioned in a previous podcast that I was really worried about the Lord Zed actor coming back and how that's going to work out, and because Robert Axelrod is no longer with us, rest in peace.
Mm-hmm.
But I was content with how Zed was portrayed. I liked it. It wasn't bad. He still had the same kind of lines that he did back then in Mighty Morphin. He called people nincompoop. That was his go-to thing to say. Um, I just think they did a really good job bringing him back. I enjoyed the Rafcon stuff a lot. Like, that was really, really cool to me. So seeing Rafcon back, seeing like the world and like how they build stuff, like
Yeah.
the level of detail they put into that city, that was some grade A,
Yeah.
like
Kind of
CGI
reminded
effects
me a little
and
bit of
design. That
like
wasn't
they just
some
did the Kenobi
low
series
tier
in
studio.
for Star Wars, like, and they showed the city on Alderaan. It kind of reminded me a little bit of that. Like, it looks like Alderaan from Star Wars.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
No, yeah, definitely. Like, definitely they put in the money and the talent to make Dino Fury look aesthetically pleasing in the later half.
Like, did you see the landscape? I was like, wow, that was a really good shot.
Yeah,
Like, wow.
seeing the 6 of them walk out onto that field to see where Zeta used to live. Oh, dude, that was really good.
Chef's kiss.
Yes, exactly. So to me, I felt like this is a really well done set of episodes for what I'm gonna tentatively call the entire Lord Zed story arc. I don't know when he'll come back, but I know he'll be back. There is no way you can tell me he's not coming back. Like, that just isn't, that's not a thing.
Right.
So when he comes back, things are gonna get real. Like, I'm telling y'all right now, like, it's gonna be pretty epic.
Most
Um,
definitely.
yeah, like I mentioned in the beginning, like I was child level hyped. Like, I was super hyped to see everything. The only thing I wasn't as hyped about was all the Nerf gun fight. Like, that was fun. Don't get me wrong, I liked it. But dude, we could have done way better than that.
Right.
Um, but overall, I enjoyed this a lot. Like, I was waiting for the next episode to drop as they came out in Canada. Like, I was glued to my computer looking to watch it. I haven't done that in years.
And it's also
for Power
nice
Rangers,
just to
man.
see
Like,
Lord
it's been
Zed
so long.
actually battling the Rangers. Because here's
So-
the thing about Lord Zed: he only battled the Rangers once directly. That was and even then he only battled Tommy during the changing of the Zords 3-parter. So yeah, Lord Zed was
Mhm.
not one to do battle with the Rangers
Yep.
Yeah.
in the past. So it was cool to actually see him actually do that again. And it's not only that, but I remember a scene where he's like watching the Rangers when he does when they're on Rapcon, and yeah,
But
That
the
was
visor.
nostalgic.
His visor.
That was nostalgic because
awesome.
he did that all the time back in Mighty
was
Morphin. It's so amazing to see him do that again. Like,
yeah. No, I think Hasbro did an amazing job bringing him back. The way they brought him back.
That's all that I can really think of. I mean, obviously, it does suck that Robert Axelrod is not with us anymore, and it sucks that we don't have his voice. But aside from that, I mean, this full Art of Lords was just awesome.
Yeah, no, definitely. They did this right. There's no way that they, in my mind, screwed it up. So kudos to Hasbro for finding their groove with the franchise finally.
Indeed.
Also, just in case people hadn't figured it out in the viewership here, I think the reason they're going to call it Cosmic Fury is related to the Cosmic Megazord combo that they use to go to space. And I think they're going to have, like, Solon mentioned making the base into a spaceship. I think that's going to be the medium they use to go into space in Cosmic Fury. Like, they're kind of hinting at it right here.
Yeah.
And then I also realized that, I mean, even if they did somehow lose their powers like they did in the first season finale, they could just get a Morphin Master just to bring their powers back. So I mean, like, honestly, they don't even really need to change the powers.
No, they've already done that. They've already done that with the past season and this season. They had lost their powers and they got the Morphin Masters to bring it back. If they lose the powers again, it has to be a different way. Like, I don't care if they have to go on another quest to find Ninzor or something, but they cannot use the Morphing Masters again to get their powers back. Because then there's no real threat. Because at the end of the day, Morphing Masters are going to be there, you know?
That is true, and they did say, hey, maybe we shouldn't be interfering like that all the time. Like, we only help just because that one time, because I guess, you know, the Master Green was just like, you know, I'm gonna help you out just a little bit, you know.
Like, I have a feeling that what may end up happening later on is that Lord Zed will find a way to corrupt the Morphing Master's place of being with his evil energy, and he'll break free. And he'll go on an attempted killing spree. And that's a big major plot point I think could happen. It's not out of the realm of possibility right now.
It's plausible.
Also, I really was digging the throwbacks to Megaforce, Beast Morphers, and all the other stuff with, like, explaining how they were saved and all this, like with Jason coming back or the Legendary Rangers or whatever. I thought that really opened the door a lot to what else in Ranger history was because of Master Green and not because of random luck or just the Morphin Grid being the Morphin Grid. So I thought that was pretty cool. And I would love to explore that more.
But I also feel like, I hope that it's not every single Rangers team that has been through that, because then it kind of defeats some of the victories that some of the Rangers had. Like, I will be very devastated if Carter was not the one that, you know, did the thing that defeated, you know, Queen Manshira. I was like
no, I think that was all Carter.
Okay.
I think you're not going to find as many. I don't think it'll be every season, but I definitely think there are a handful of seasons even prior to Megaforce where stuff happened that we can explain by Green Master.
Yeah.
And that'll be a podcast that we might explore a little bit more in detail later on, guys. As a team, you know, trying to figure out what else was done out there, you know.
because there's like at least one or two I can think off the top of my head right now that I'm like, you know what, that actually does make sense that Master Green would show up and do something like that. It's not a season that you like, Riz, but it's definitely a possibility.
Look, man, wild farce, as we like to call it in this world. They're a different caliber of Ranger.
There's also one other thing I want to bring up. I really enjoyed the episode where Ollie and Amelia kind of get together, and they do acknowledge that they're a couple, because in one of the Rapcon episodes, I can't remember which one, like they mention how they're going on a pizza date or something nonchalantly, so they're very clearly a couple at this point.
Oh yeah, and like the way Amelia said, I remember a fortune teller telling us that we're going to get together.
And I'm just happy, like, 3, I really just love how, some of these, later Power Ranger seasons are actually having romance stories kind of amount to something, because that's one advantage that I think some of these later seasons have over other ones, because, like, to be honest, in other seasons, like, you have romance stories, and sure, you have your Tommy and Kimberly's, you have your Andros and Ashley's where they end up together, or Wes and Jen where they at least admit that they love each other. But then there are some where, like, they hint at romance throughout the whole series, but then nothing happens, like with Tori and Blake, or Kira and Trent. Maybe Nick and Madison, sort of, I don't know, but
it was clearly it was definitely hinted that they were like,
even if you go as far back as the Neo Saban era, these later seasons are doing stuff with their romance stuff, like Mike and Emily are together at the end of Samurai. Gia kisses Jake on the cheek. Sorry to mention that, Riz. To hint that they get together. Tyler and Shelby get together, literally.
Tyler and Shelby.
I get, like, Calvin and Haley are kind of already together in Ninja Steel, I think. I haven't watched that season all the way through. Was there any other romance besides Calvin and Haley?
They became Rangers.
Yeah, what goes on with them?
Oh, Nate and Zoe. Nate had a thing for her first, but like he wasn't sure if she liked him. But overall, they liked each other. So yeah.
Then we can also add Ollie and Amelia to that. Like, I'm just glad how these newer PR seasons, even the Neo Saban era seasons, for all the flaws, they at least have the romances amount to something. I mean,
yeah. Even though I'm not even gonna lie to y'all, like the whole thing with Nate and Zoe kind of was just like, they didn't really make it as important as they initially did. Like, them setting up the romance was better than them actually getting together.
Yeah, but I think with Amelia and Ollie, it's more organic feeling right now.
Yeah,
like, it's not forced on you. It's not awkward after they get together. It's showing normal people doing normal things, just like Izzy and Fern.
Yeah. I mean, that was all that I wanted to add. I just love, like, I just kind of wanted to use that as an example to just say how that's one thing of modern Power Rangers that I think has an advantage over some of these other seasons. It's like, even some of the seasons that I love, they have, like, they hint at romance stuff. Like, throughout Lightspeed Rescue, they hint at some stuff between Carter and Dana, but nothing happens there.
And they kind of some with that. I'm just like, why didn't they at least try?
Kind of a couple between
it was weird.
Kruger and Kat in SPD, but of course now they can't do anything about that because Kruger's wife is still alive. So, like, so yeah. I just wanted to briefly mention that. And Ollie and Amelia had great chemistry, by the way.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, I know there are people out there that are saying that Zaito and Amelia to get together, but I heavily disagree.
No, definitely not. They're more like friends, honestly.
Yeah, basically.
And you know, Fern and Izzy.
So
Sorry, Anthony. Go ahead.
I mean, no, I was gonna say like, listen, y'all, like, if Zato and freaking Ion want to repopulate their planet, they can do
Yeah.
with other women, okay?
And Fern and Izzy have a lot of chemistry too. Like,
Yeah.
Just saying.
that's one thing that I hope happens in Cosmic Fury because we're actually seeing Fern a lot. Like, she was only in one episode of the first season, but we've seen her one other time in this previous season where she and where they're going to prom and Izzy's mom makes them a dress and a suit or something like that. And then we see her in the episode where like she and Fern are being all
Yeah.
like, you know, being like a happy couple when they're competing in this Buzz Blast contest. You know, I saw someone make a video. Now, half of the video's title was stupid. It's implying that Fern might be the daughter of Trini, aka the original Yellow Ranger. But they were
I
hinting
don't.
that
I don't think
Fern
so.
could
No.
become another
Far.
Ranger. Now, that could be possible because I mean, here's the thing: like, they're like one of the things that we jump to is that you know maybe they'll get the Q Ranger suits for the new Ranger suits, and okay, maybe they won't. Maybe they'll just keep the Dino Fury suits because, like as Riz said, maybe they're just going to get new Zords and maybe do something similar to Mighty Morphin, where like you keep the suits, but you use mechs from another season. But I'm all for Fern becoming a Ranger, actually, because I want to see her character more fleshed out because they're keeping her around. She and Izzy are cute together. So I do want to see Fern appearing more often.
Yeah. Agreed.
That's honestly how I felt about when this is from Down Charge, by the way, when Chase was dating that girl, and like I've seen her more often. I was like, they probably could have done something where she, you know, becomes a ranger at one point, but it never happened. So I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
Because they honestly, if you're probably thinking like, oh, what ranger would she be? She would be, you know, Aqua, because they made a female version of that suit in Kyoryuger.
Yeah.
Anything else you guys want to add?
No,
No?
I think we're good, man.
Yeah.
All right.
That's all I had to say.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, we're gonna
season.
we'll try to get you guys the rest of Dino Fury as soon as we can. As more episodes come, we will definitely cover that. Our next scheduled podcast will be where we are taking a look at the last 6 episodes of Kamen Rider Decade. Now, I just want to give you guys, I want to give everyone, including Riz and Anthony, some clarity here. I just found this out. Apparently, Decade ends with a 90-minute movie that takes place immediately after the finale. And I'm just going to say this right now. I apologize for fans that are wondering our thoughts on that. We're not going to cover that. Okay, we really don't care as the Shinkinger and Decade crossover thing showed us. We funnily enough didn't even really have to look at Decade. With me, I'm just going to put the fact that I watched Decade all the way through on my list of completed Kamen Rider seasons and just be done with it. Okay, I mean, Anthony voted against it. I voted against it. I know that Riz is probably going to vote against it, so we're not going to review that. Okay, we are not doing that. It's 2 against 1. So
vote against that? I don't remember.
I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really care.
And we are just going to
okay, cool. Oh, you don't care. Okay, yeah, it's all 3-1. Yeah, so we're good.
We are just going to wrap up
3-1,
the 6 episode of
3-0,
Decade.
I mean, sorry.
And then we're going to move on to finishing up Shinkenger. Okay, we if you like Decade, great. We don't care, and we're sorry, but we don't care. Okay, and after we finish Decade, we'll be moving on to Shinkenger. Okay, so now that we got that announcement out of the way, sorry about that. I just wanted to give that clarity ahead of time.
Nah, you're good because I'm trying to and finish Dino because I never got a chance to watch it because I was
we hope you guys enjoyed this.
Decade.
Please leave comments down below. If you have anything you want us to cover, please check out Anime Secrets on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and all those other social media pages. If you're listening to us on iTunes, we thank you for joining us. And we'll see you guys next time when we finally wrap up our Kamen Rider Decade adventure. So until that time, we'll see you guys later. So see you guys.